Okay, so we now have the recording activated. So the topic is the graphs of trigonometric functions or of the circular function. So the unit circle is shown on the screen and we're going to cut the circle, no? Ika-cut natin yung circle dito sa 0 degree. So basically, starting dito sa coordinates na 1, 0, no? So pag kinat natin dito, imagine niyo wire yan na nakapaikot, no? Ika-cut yung wire dito, tapos i-extend natin siyang pahaba. Okay? Nung na-extend mo na siyang pahaba, ilalagay natin siya dito sa Cartesian plane. So placing the circumference of your circle, yung circumference na naka-extend, no? Along the x-axis. Okay? So magkakaroon tayo ng mga intervals along the x-axis. Makikita nyo kung saan nakalagay si pi, si 2 pi, si pi over 2, si 3 pi, no? And then we have smaller intervals like pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4. Tapos yung 30 degrees natin, which is pi over 6, no? Ayan. So, lagay natin si pi over 6, si pi over 3, and so forth and so on. Hanggang makompleto natin yung x-axis natin, no? So, remember, the numbers here are coming from the circumference of your unit circle. So, nilagay natin siya dito since sila naman ay may mga equivalent value sa real numbers. Like, we know that pi is 3.1416, no? So, pag pinilat mo si 3.1416, sa 3, tapos ilampas mo lang ng konti, no? Tapos 6.28 si 2 pi, so lampas lang ng konti kay 6, no? So, the same thing with the other intervals. Tapos, si y-axis, lagyan mo rin ng intervals, no? Say, 1 yung nasa taas, 0.5 yung gitna, tapos you got 0, negative 1 yung pinakababa, and then you got 0.05, no? Okay. So yung kadalasan na ginagawa natin pag nag-graph tayo ng function, you have to make a table for your x and for your y. And then make sure na meron kang value kay ang tawag doon, column for x and y, no? So ibig sabihin, you will assign the values for x and then you will solve the values for y. So that's the same thing that you do when you graph a function, no? Mag-a-assign ka ng value kay x, which is your independent variable, and then you will solve the value for y, which is your dependent variable. So basically, when you substitute x to be 0, sine 0 will be equal to 1, and that can be confirmed by the coordinates here. When the theta is 0, your sine theta or your sine 0 is 0. Your cosine 0 will be 1, no? But since you're getting sine 0, so you'll get 0. Okay. And then you assign pi over 6. Si pi over 6 ay nandito, di ba? So, ano yung sine pi over 6? 1/2. Okay? Si sine pi over 4 ay pi over 2. Ayun. No? Si pi over 2 is actually 0.71 pag kinonvert sa decimal. No? So, isa-isahin natin 0, 0, that would be located on this position of the graph. No? Si pi over 6 tsaka si 1/2, ito yung point. Si pi over 4 at saka si 0.7, tataas lang ng konti, no? Pag pi over 3, the number is square root of 3 over 2, which is 0.87. So when you plot the point, that's slightly over 0.71, which is this point. So kunin natin yung susunod na point, pi over 2 yung x. So remember that when x is pi over 2, your sine pi over 2 will be 1. So ito yung point natin sa graph. Okay? So as we assign the values, isa-isahin natin, pi over 3 at 2 pi over 3, that's square root of 3 over 2. That's 0.87, bababa na ng konti. 3 pi over 2 or over 4, that's square root of 2 over 2, no? Which is 0.71. So again, the point is on the screen. So after ng 3 pi over 4, susunod si 5 pi over 6, which will be 1 half. So 0.5. So it's going down, no? When the value of x is pi, the number for y is 0. So pupunta doon yung point. Observe na kapag 7 pi over 6 ang number natin for x, our y becomes negative 0.5. So bumaba na. Okay? So we assign more values, 5 pi over 4. Ito yung value niya, negative square root of 2 over 2. The point is here. 4 pi over 3. The number is the square root of 3 over 2, which is negative. So that's negative 0.87. 3 pi over 2, that's actually 270 degrees, no? So ang sign ng 3 pi over 2, we know it's equal to negative 1. So the point is here. So from there, tingnan mo, as you assign the values for 5 pi over 3, 7 pi over 4, 11 pi over 6, at saka 2 pi, the number is increasing papunta kay 0, no? Hanggang makarating ka sa 2 pi. Okay? So tingnan mo yung shape or yung dinadaanan ng mga points natin. Okay? So if we are to connect this by a smooth curve, ito dapat yung lalabas, no? So hindi lang masyadong accurate yung position ng mga points natin dahil hindi masyadong maayos yung pagkakahati-hati ko ng intervals, no? But basically, the graph should look like this. Okay? So ang tanong, pwede pa ba akong mag-assign ng values na mas mataas sa 2 pi over 3? Yes, magdagdag ka dito ng mga points, no? Like 2 pi plus pi over 6. 2 pi plus pi over 4. Sunod-sunod na yan, no? So observe that the graph will be moving up, which will be like a repetition of the points dito sa simula ng graph natin, no? So, kung mapapansin niyo, the intervals that we have on the Cartesian plane is from 0 to 2 pi, which is actually one complete revolution of your circle, no? So that's actually called one cycle of the graph. So ibig sabihin, ang isang cycle ng graph ay itong dalawang curve na tumaas, bumaba, at bumaba sa negative 1 at bumalik sa 0. Kapag nag-graph ka pa na susunod sa kanan, you could also form another cycle, no? So may isa pang cycle dyan ng curve na mabubuo. So as you go along, another cycle will be formed every after 2 pi, no? Kasi ang isang cycle ay 2 pi. So kada isang sukat ng 2 pi, isang cycle. Okay? So the graph will have its domain and its range. I know you're familiar with finding the domain and range. Paano nyo nga kinukuha yung domain, if you still remember? Sa GenMat ninyo, kinuha nyo na yan eh. How do we find the domain, class? Can someone type the answer on the messenger? Okay, domain is actually referring to all the admissible values of x. Lahat ng number x or na number na pwede mong i-assign kay x. In our case, pwede ko bang i-assign lahat ng numbers that you could find along the x-axis? Ang sagot ay yes. Kasi dito sa kaliwa, pwede kang mag-assign ng negative pi over 6, ng negative pi over 2, ng negative pi over 4, ng negative pi over 3, no? So, ibig sabihin, negative values of the x-axis can be assigned, positive values can be assigned, and there are no restrictions. Okay? So, that would mean your domain would be the set of real numbers. So, take note of the symbol that we use for the real numbers. Is the capital R, no? Tapos, ang range natin would be all the possible values for y. Ano ba yung mga numbers ng y na na-solve natin? Mula sa 0 You got 1/2, you got square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, you got 1, bumalik sa square root of 3 over 2, square root of 2 over 1, 1 over 2, no? So, kung mapapansin mo, the lowest point on the graph is -1 and the highest point is +1. Wala tayong graph na tumaas pa sa 1, no? Like, may graph ba tayo sa 2, sa 2, sa 1.5, sa 3? Wala, no? So the highest point is at 1 and the lowest point on the graph is -1. So therefore, the range of the function, no, yung mga solved values for y would be in between -1 to +1. I'm using the bracket, ano ba tawag dito? Bracket, no? So I'm using the brackets to denote that this is a closed interval. Closed interval means that includes the number -1 hanggang +1 and in between, no? So lahat ng numbers mula sa -1, in between hanggang sa +1 are part of the range of the function. Okay? Now, here is a more smoother curve, no? For the graph of your sine function. Okay? So pansinin nyo, parehas lang yung intervals, hindi na lang nilagay yung mga numbers na eksakto, kagaya nung ginawa ko doon. No? Okay. So you have pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, pi over 2. So the numbers in between. Okay. So ito yung mga points na na-plot natin kanina. So it's really showing na the numbers are in between +1 and -1. Okay? So, kaya rin siya tinawag actually na circular function. Kasi do sa circular function mo, do sa circle natin, i-observe nyo lahat ng points na yon nasa loob ng circle, no? These are actually points on the circle. Okay? So, kanina we have the function y equals sine x. Ngayon, I'm using the symbol f of x equals sine x. The two are just the same, no? So, f of x is actually equal to y. Diba? So, do not be confused with that. Next. Tingnan natin yung graph ng cosine function. Y equals cosine. So, ang gagawin natin would be to plot the same Cartesian plane, no? I-cut mo dito yung circle, i-extend mo, tapos yung in-extend mo na circumference, ilagay mo dito. So, we have the intervals. Tapos, you make the same table, lagyan mo ng x, lagyan mo ng y. So, i-substitute mo yung x kay 0, yung 0 kay x. Kapag ang x ay 0, cosine 0 will be 1. That's clear in your unit circle, no? Kapag pi over 6 yung x, square root of 3 over 2. Tama? Kapag pi over 4, square root of 2 over 2. Kapag pi over 3, that will be 1/2. Pag pi over 2, it will become 0, no? Tapos lahat yan represents a point on the plane. So i-plot mo yung 0, 1. So kapag 0, doon tayo sa taas. Sa sine kanina, 0, 0, no? So yung starting point mo dito sa baba, sa origin. Ngayon dito tayo sa taas magsisimula. Okay? Pi over 6, square root of 3 over 2 is actually 0.87. Yun, pababa yung graph, no? Pi over 3, nag 1/2. Pi over 4, nag 0.7. Pi over 3, nag 1/2. Pi over 2, nag 0, no? Sa 2 pi over 3, the number is -1/2. Ayun yung point. Sa 3 pi over 4, you'll get 0.71 negative. 5 pi over 6, that's negative 0.87, which is negative also. Pagdating sa pi, the number is -1. Okay? So, sunod-sunod yan, we have to plot the coordinates. No? As you assign the values, you'd be able to get this points, no? And connecting the points will give you the graph. So malinaw din dito that the domain of the function would be the set of all real numbers, no? Since you could assign positive and negative values. So ibig sabihin dito sa kaliwa, it can be extended also. So dudugtong lang dito yung graph natin pababa, tapos tataas, no? Okay, and the range would be -1 to +1, which is within the closed interval. Okay, are we clear with the graph of sine and cosine, class? Nakakasunod ba tayo dito? Okay, sige. Mukhang sapilitan yung pag-thumbs up, no? So, hoping wala pang natutulog, ha? Sige, this is the smoother curve for your y equals cosine theta. So, pagsamahan natin yung dalawang graph, look at the difference. Kapag ginraph mo yung sine theta mo, f of theta, cosine theta, f of theta, no? Okay. So, naging theta na yung x-axis mo. F of theta na yun dito. So, that's basically your x and your y. So, pwede mong gawing theta to since these are angles also. Di ba? Okay. So, pansinin natin, mula sa y-axis, papunta sa 2 pi. No? Ang sabi natin, that's one complete cycle. So, mula rito hanggang dito, that's one complete cycle. Paglampas ng 2 pi, papunta sa kanan, hanggang sa 4 pi, that will be another cycle, no? So mula dito sa 0, papunta sa -2 pi, would be another cycle of the graph. So ang tawag natin dyan, one cycle of the graph is completed at 2 pi. Therefore, it is called periodic at 2 pi, no? Sine and cosine are periodic at 2 pi. Okay? Pag sinabing periodic, nauulit yung cycle after 2 pi. Next, the period is also known as the length of the cycle of a function. Okay? Sige. Next. Pansinin ninyo, gumamit ako ng Desmos, no? Ginamit ko si Desmos to graph your y equals sine x. So dito, we have the same graph obtained, no? Pagdating dito sa 6.28, that's one cycle of the graph. Okay? So lagyan natin ng label, that's actually 2.5, 2 pi, no? And then that's 6.28. So that's one cycle. Okay? Tingnan natin ano mangyayari kapag yung function ko ay y equals 3 sine x. Na? So maglalagay ako ng number before the function. Tingnan natin yung magiging graph. Ikukumpara natin doon sa graph na kulay pula, which is your y equals sine x. Okay? So ano yung naging effect nung number na 3 dito sa kulay blue na function, na graph? Tumaas yung graph natin, no? Tumaas. Napunta sa 3. So basically, kung ano yung number na ilalagay ko dito, that will become your highest point on the graph, and the negative value would be the lowest point on the graph. Okay? So +3 at saka -3 are the highest and the lowest point. Sa original function, y equals sine x, may imaginary number dito which is 1. Kaya yung pinakamataas niya ay 1 at saka -1. Okay? Ang tawag natin dun sa dalawang points na yan, the highest point on the graph is known as the peak of the graph. The lowest point on the graph is called trough of the graph. No? So it is spelled T-R-O-U-G-H, but it is pronounced as trough, not trough. No? It is pronounced as trough. Naririnig natin yung trough kapag nakikinig tayo or nanonood tayo ng weather forecast, no? Meron yung trough daw ng bagyo, binabanggit doon, no? Okay. So, basically, ang tawag natin dyan, amplitude, no? Amplitude is the height of a function or of a curve. So, the amplitude of y equals sine x is the absolute value of the number here. Okay? So kung 3 yan, 3. Kung negative 3 yan, 3 pa din, no? Okay? So that's the highest, that's the height of the graph. We call it amplitude. Okay? Next, tingnan naman natin ano magiging effect kapag yung y natin ay equal sa sine 2x, no? So yung number nilagay ko sa 2x, sa x. Tinabi ko kay 2, kay x, no? So pag ginraph natin using your Desmos, ito yung graph. Again, red pa rin yung normal graph natin, no? Original graph. Pansinin mo si sine 2x, ano nangyari sa kulay blue na graph? Still the same curve, kaya lang pansinin mo, sa red, ang isang cycle na buo siya sa 2 pi. Sa blue, ang isang cycle na buo siya kay 3.14. Ibig sabihin, kay pi na buo na kagad siya, no? So that's already one cycle. So ibig sabihin, kapag may number tayo na naka-attach kay x doon sa argument natin, doon sa dependent or independent variable mo, nilagyan mo ng number doon, naaapektuhan niya yung cycle, no? Kagaya nito, umikli yung isang complete cycle natin mula sa 0 hanggang pi na lang. So, ibig sabihin, naaapektuhan niya yung period. Okay? Yung period ng graph. So, ulitin ko, the red graph has a period of 2 pi. The blue graph has a period of pi because you have sine 2x. Okay? Sige. So, gamitin natin yung general formula, no? So, yung equation natin na nasa format y equals a sine bx or y equals a cosine bx will have the same effect sa cosine, ha? So, your a, ang absolute value for a becomes your amplitude, no? Tapos, yung period natin, pwede mong i-compute yan by using the formula 2 pi over p, no? So, remember that b is 2 dito sa function natin. 2 pi over p is 2 pi over 2 or simply pi, no? So, this one determines the period of your function. The period is at pi. So, every pi, kada matatapos ang isang pi, isang period. After ni pi, papunta kay 2 pi, isang period. Kay 2 pi, papunta kay 3 pi, isang period ulit. Now, one complete cycle. Okay? Nakakasunod, class? Sige. So, there are two periods already in between 0 to 2 pi, ha? Okay, tingnan naman natin yung function mo. Ano naman ang magiging behavior kapag ang kinonsider mo ay y equals sine x minus pi over 2. O ito naman, may nadagdag pang number dito, no? Using the Desmos graphing aid, tingnan mo yung original mo na graph, yung kulay red, no? Tapos yung graph na blue, ano nangyari? Parang umusod yung graph natin, no? So it's like, sa halip na dito ka nag-start sa 0, dito ka nag-start. Ano kayang point yan? No? Sige. So, lagyan natin ng intervals. Ayun. Sa pi over 2 siya nagsimula. No? Instead na sa 0, the graph started at pi over 2. So, ibig sabihin, the graph moved from its the original starting point to the right. Ayun. So, instead na 0, yung point mo, 0, 0, dito ka na nagsimula sa pi over 2, 0. No? Yung mataas na point mo sa pi over 2, nag-move doon papunta kay pi. So, nag-move din siya ng anong distance? Pi over 2. No? So, ang tawag natin dyan ay shifting of the graph. No? The graph shifted from the original position to the right. So actually, depende yan. It could move to the left, no? So tingnan natin. Ang tawag doon ay phase shift. Okay? Phase shift is the amount of which a wave shifts horizontally. Okay? So tingnan natin ang definition ng phase shift. The phase shift of the function y equals a sine quantity bx minus c plus d. Ito na ngayon ang magiging general form natin ng trigonometric function sine, no? Tsaka sa cosine, ganyan din. A cosine quantity bx minus c plus d is cb. So ang phase shift daw natin ay c over b. If c over b is positive, the curve shifts to the right. If c over b is negative, the curve shifts c over b to the left. Okay? Balikan natin yung function kanina. Y equals sine quantity x minus pi over 2. So remember, kapag sinulat natin doon sa format nung nasa taas yan, it should be written as y equals 1 sine quantity 1x minus pi over 2 plus 0. Kasi we're missing the constant d here, no? Okay. So your A is 1, your B is 1, your C is pi over 2, your D is 0. So pag sinubstitute natin yan, dito, ang phase shift natin will be pi over 2 over 1, which will reduce to pi over 2. Take note class, ang standard format, Px minus C. So we're taking C to be positive kapag minus to. Kailan magiging negative si C? Kapag plus yung nakalagay dito. Okay? So that confirms our graph, no? Okay, now let's have the graph of y equals 4 sine quantity 3x minus 5. So ang amplitude natin 4 na yan, automatic. Ang period natin 2 pi over absolute value of 3. So 2 pi over 3. Ang phase shift ay pi over 3, C over B, no? So ibig sabihin, we're shifting the graph to the right with an amplitude of 4. Okay? Ayan. So, pag ginraph natin using the aid of Desmos, yung graph na original, yung kulay pula ha, tapos yung graph nung bagong function natin, eto na, no? So we have the amplitude which is 4 and negative 4 yung pinakababa, no? Tapos anong sabi natin? Sa 2 pi over 3 siya magiging periodic. So one cycle is completed every after 2 pi over 3. Pero mag-shift tayo ng pi over 3. So kung ito si pi over 3, pansinin mo, instead na yung graph natin nagsimula dito sa 0, 0, sa pi over 3 na tayo nagsimula, tapos tumaas siya dito. No? So ibig sabihin, you shift or you move your graph to the right mula sa 0, 0, papunta kay pi over 3. Okay? So si 2 pi over 3 ay nandito. Pansinin mo mula sa 0 hanggang kay 2 pi over 3, that's one complete cycle. Ito, isang complete cycle to ng circle. So pag kinat mo dito, tapos pinihit mo, that's actually a circle, no? Okay. So are we clear para dito sa ating amplitude, sa ating phase shift, para sa ating period? Kasi in our activity, you will be drawing the graph manually, no? So I hope this will help you graph or sketch your graph without the aid of any graphing tool like Desmos, no? Okay. So yun yung isang period, no? Okay. Now let's look at the graph of y equals 1/2 cosine 2x, no? Sabi natin it has the same effect yung A, B, C, D, no? Has the same effect with cosine. So ang amplitude natin absolute value ng 1/2 which is 1/2. So alam natin na yung graph ay will have its maximum point at 1/2 and minimum point at negative 1/2 or 0.5, no? And then we have the period, that's 2 pi over b, which is 2 pi over 2, which is pi. So ibig sabihin, the graph is now periodic at at pi. So one cycle is completed at pi. And then we have the phase shift. Phase shift is c over d, 0 over 2, which is 0. So there's no shifting on the graph. So if you know these three characteristics, it will be easy for you to graph without even having to use Desmos, no? So the red graph is your original graph, tama? The green graph is here. Yes, tingnan natin, no? So pi is there, 2 pi is here. Sabi sa atin, ang period mo ay pi. So ibig sabihin, one complete cycle of the graph, buo na pagdating kay pi. Mula kay pi, papunta kay 2 pi, isang buong cycle ulit, no? So take note, your highest point is 0.5 and your lowest point is 0.5. So actually, you just have to identify the intervals, no? Para ma-graph mo siya. Okay? So that's one cycle or that's one period. Altitude mo or your amplitude is 0.5, the absolute value. Okay? So other than the sine and cosine, we also have the graph of the reciprocal of sine, which is cosecant. The red graph is for sine. The green graph is for cosecant. No? So hindi ko na dinemonstrate yung pagpa-plot ng point isa-isa ha. So that will take too much of our time. So instead, ginamit ko na lang si Desmos. Pero pansinin ninyo, nakita nyo ba yung kulay green na line, na broken line na lumalabas sa screen? Sa 0, 0, meron dito, vertical line. Pagdating sa pi, may vertical line. Sa 2 pi, may vertical line din. So ibig sabihin, these lines are actually asymptotes of our graph for cosecant. Ibig sabihin, the graph cannot touch the lines. No? The broken lines. So ibig sabihin, yung letter U dito sa taas, diretso yan sa taas. It will not cross over the green line or the blue line that I place. Okay? Sa baba, ganun din. So dito sa kanan, ganun din. So ibig sabihin, putol-putol yung graph natin. Okay? Sige. So ulitin ko, pagkuha ng domain, lahat ng values ng x, pwede mong i-assign except yung ating asymptotes, yung pi at saka 2 pi, saka 3 pi, 4 pi, kaya except k pi, where k is an integer. Pag sinabing integer, whole number, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi, those are our asymptotes. So those are the exception. Okay? Sa range naman, the graph started from the lowest point here, which is positive 1, and it goes up mula sa negative 1 and it goes down. So ibig sabihin, the numbers from positive 1 to negative 1, yung in between, which is actually the domain of your sine function, becomes not part of the domain or of the range. No? Let me correct that. Range of the function. No? So kaya ang magiging range natin from negative infinity to negative 1, mula sa ilalim, pagtaas, papunta kay 1, at kasama si 1, kaya ginamitan ko ng close interval. Yun, meaning i-combine mo mula sa 1 papunta sa positive infinity. No? So again, we're using brackets here to denote that these are closed intervals, which will mean the numbers are actually included. No? Kasi kapag parenthesis ang ginamit mo dyan, the negative 1 and the positive 1 are not included. Also the number, although the number closer to negative 1 and positive 1 are included. Okay? Next. So the green line is the graph for your secant. The red line is the graph for your cosine. May pagkakahawig yung graph ng secant, no, which is the reciprocal of cosine, dun sa nauna. Kaya lang, iba naman yung magiging position ng ating asymptotes. No? Look at the lines, the broken lines. No? So pi over 2 naman. Kanina pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. No? Ngayon, pi over 2 ang interval, 3 pi over 2. So yun yung pagitan mula sa pi over 2 sa 3 pi over 2. Dagdag ka lang ng dagdag ng pi over 2. No? Okay. So here, the domain is the set of real numbers except pi over 2 plus k pi, where k is an integer. No? And then for the range, parehas between negative infinity to negative 1, close interval, union with 1 close interval, positive infinity. Next, your tangent graph is here. Meron din siyang mga asymptotes, pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, no? So, basically, ang domain niyan is R except pi over 2 plus k pi, where k is an integer. So again, may mga asymptotes din si tangent, no? Ang range would be the set of real numbers, no? Kasi mula kasama na si zero, positive numbers pataas, di ba? Mula sa zero papunta kay negative numbers. Kaya it should be the set of real numbers. Okay? Basically, that's negative infinity to positive infinity. Si tangent, meron ding reciprocal. Tingnan nyo yung magiging graph niya, which is cotangent. Okay? So cotangent will have its asymptotes also. No? So may mga asymptotes dito. So same domain, set of real numbers except KR, range would be the set of real numbers. Okay? So later, pagka pinag-graph ko kayo, at least kabisado nyong i-graph yung sine, cosine, at saka tangent. No? So kahit na hindi ko na kayo pagplatin ng points, ilagay mo lang yung intervals, dapat alam nyo kung saan ilalagay yung point. Ano yung shape ng graph. Okay? So that would be all for the discussion of the graph of your trigonometric functions. No?